Okay, so last time we ended up with the formula of Young double slit experiment, and after this we have some important factors that will help you to answer your questions. Uh, in the past papers, you will also get questions from that specific factors, because in formula you observe that we have distance between slits and screen. We have a concept of slit separation. We have a concept of fringe separation or fringe spacing. So there are different quantities and there are different varieties also available. For example, what happens if you change the wavelength of the wave? What happens if you increase the intensity of the light? Or what happens if we increase the distance of the screen from slit? So there are so many questions. Okay. So we will write down all the possible factors in a single slide. So it will be very easy for you to always check from the notes about the factors or any specific question related to factor affecting young double slit experiment. So the first effect, so the first effect is due to the wavelength. And for example, if we increase the wavelength, so wavelength increased. So if we increase the wavelength, so normally they ask questions about three factors. So we need to discuss three factors. The first one is the value of X, fringe separation, brightness. Brightness means brightness of bright fringes, right? And darkness means darkness of dark fringes only. So to save time, I'm writing in simple key terms, so it will be easy for us to understand and also to save our time. So let's suppose if we increase the wavelength, so definitely wavelength increase, so frequency decreases. So in other words, we can say frequency is decreased. So basically there are two different varieties we can write in two different forms. So first of all, according to the formula, you can see x and wavelength both are directly proportional. So according to this scenario, we can say that if you increase the value of lambda, so definitely the value of x also increases. So in this case, there will be increase because x is directly proportional to lambda according to the formula. Very simple. And brightness of bright fringes, darkness of dark fringes remains unchanged. Both remains unchanged. So this is the first factor, very easy. Second factor is about slit to screen distance. Slit to screen distance increased. So when slit to the screen distance increase, again from the formula we can easily identify x is directly proportional to d also. Brightness, darkness. So in this scenario, we can say again x is directly proportional to d according to the formula. So it will also increase. And for your reference, I'm writing the symbols also, so it will be easy to understand from it. Okay. Generally, if you think about, for example, if car is at a very close distance to us, we are standing in front of a car like few 1 or 2 meters away, and the headlights of car is open, like it is turned on. So the intensity of the headlights of the car is very high. But let's suppose if car is like 1 kilometer, like 100 or 200 meters away from our body, so the intensity of the light decreases because car is very far away from our body, and that's why the intensity of light decreases until it reaches our body. Okay. So when you are observing a long distance light object, so intensity feels very low, like brightness is less. But if you are very close to the light source, so definitely the brightness of light will be very much high. You can also take the example of candle. If we are standing close to the candle, so definitely we observe more brightness, and if we are standing at a distance from the candle, so we observe less brightness. So it means that if we increase the distance, so the brightness decreases and darkness remains unchanged. And one more reason that brightness decreases because light is spread out on the screen and spot becomes larger. Right? Any confusion in these two factors?
No.
Okay. Third factor. Third factor is slit separation increased. Slit separation increased means we increase the value of A. So when we increase the value of A, so let's see in the output what happens. Again, we have brightness, darkness. So again, if you compare X with A, so X is inversely proportional to A. So there, if there is like increase in the value of A, so definitely there will be decrease in the value of X. So slit separation increases. It will decrease because of inverse relation between two quantities. And both quantities remains again unchanged. Factor number 4, intensity of light decreased. Intensity of light decrease means Either lamp is now dim, we are using dim lamp, or there are other possibilities. For example, we have a small slit side, so very a small amount of light rays are coming out from the slit. This is another possibility. And the third possibility is lamp is far away. Brightness, darkness. To the value of x, this time the value of x remains unchanged because intensity is now changed. So in simple words, you observed, basically the formula, the questions related to the calculation base, there is a like combined question in past paper after the final factor we will discuss. So they ask questions from the calculation related to the formula, and in the last two or three parts of the question, they usually ask about the factors. Like if there is a change in this quantity, so what will be the effect on that quantity, like this. So they will not ask about calculation based question related to the factor. They will only ask about in the same pattern, in the concept of the basic differences between the factors only. No values required, no calculation required. Okay. And if we talk about brightness and darkness, so if we talk about the brightness, it is decreased. And darkness remains unchanged. And one more thing, if we are changing like physical quantity in the setup, like if you are changing slit distance, if you are changing the distance between the slits or screen, so if we are changing the physical setup in the experiment, so then we are getting change in the quantity of x mostly. But if we are changing intensity or this type of quantity, so then brightness and darkness got affected. Last factor is about light coming from one of the two slits is decreased. Okay, so now light coming from one of the two slits is decreased. So when it is decreased, so the same factors x, brightness, darkness. So in this final factor, x remains unchanged. But what happens? Light coming from one slit is decreased. So definitely because of the decrease in the brightness, so brightness also decreases overall, because when they interfere with each other, so overall brightness decreases, and darkness of dark fringes also decreases. Why darkness of dark fringes decrease? Reason is very simple, because now we are not getting pure destructive interference. Because from one slit, let's suppose we are getting value 10, and from the other slit we are getting value less than 10. So that's why they are not canceling out each other properly. So that's why darkness decreases. Reason is very simple. It becomes less dark as no pure destructive interference. Right? So these are the factors. Any question in this?
No.
Okay. Okay, now let's consider questions from this young double slit experiment. Then we will start also the second experiment of diffraction grating. So first of all, let's see the questions related to this young double slit experiment. Okay, you can see this is from diffraction grating. Whole question from diffraction grating. And this is from young double slit experiment. Okay, so let's see what they are asking in this question. First of all, there is a laser light, because laser light is of single color, so definitely monochromatic. So it is used to produce an interference pattern on the screen. And the light of the wavelength 660 nanometers, so wavelength is given. The value of D is also given. The value of A is also given. So wavelength A, D. So all values are given in the question. So it means we can easily use a formula to find out any unknown quantity related to X, D, A, etc. Okay, so the same thing mentioned in the paragraph. Wavelength, two slits separation, 0.44. It is parallel to screen, perpendicular distance. Okay, next paragraph. The central bright fringe on the screen is formed at O. The next dark fringe below point O is formed at P. Okay, so central bright fringe is in O, and the next bright fringe below point O is formed at P. The next bright fringe and the next dark fringe below P are formed at P points Q and R respectively. So that is clearly mentioned. So no problem in his statement. First of all, the light waves from the two slits are coherent. So what is meant by coherent? So when we are using the conditions of interference, so you remember we discussed same frequency, same nature, and also they meet at a point. And when we are using same frequency and same nature concept, so there is also another idea that both meet at like with same phase difference, like their phase difference will be equals to 0. So in short, we use the term of coherent. So coherent means constant phase difference. So only this basic idea is included related to coherent, no description, no detail required. Constant phase difference between two waves, right? Second, for two light waves superposing at point R, calculate the difference in their path lengths in nanometer from the slits. So we need to calculate path difference. So we discussed already about path difference. Path difference is equals to n lambda for bright and for dark for both. Okay. Yes, we only need to write the definition of coherent because it is only related to definition base in our syllabus. There is no detail, no description, no other concept is required. So basically, coherent is a single word term, and in detail, we used to write constant phase difference. That is the only thing. Okay, so for path differences, we already discussed path difference is equals to n lambda, n lambda. Only the numbers of order n are different. Otherwise, all things are same. So it means it is very easy to calculate, and they are asking about two light waves superposing at point R. So point R is the focus. Point R is the last point from the center in the diagram. So this is center 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5. Very simple. So the order of point R is 1.5. And actually what they are asking about these waves. For example, if one wave is passing from this point and the other one is passing from this point like this. Okay. So there is a path difference between two waves because the wave on the top reaches uh, after traveling a long distance as compared to the second wave. So this is the question they are asking about. So answer is equals to n lambda 1.5 660 nanometer, and they are already asking about the answer in nanometers. So it is remains the same 660 into 1.5 990 is the phase difference. Simple. Okay, very easy. And also their phase difference. So now we need to find out phase difference in this scenario. So in this scenario, phase difference is very easy to find out because now we don't have two different waves given in transverse wave pattern. So we don't need to select any point. We don't need to find out the difference in the time. We just need to write down the order. Your order is 1.5. Okay, because we use the concept of order in young double slit experiment. So simply it means 1.5 multiplied by 360. Simple. 360 multiplied by 1.5 equals to 540 degrees. Because right now in this question, no pattern of waves are given. So there is no need to write or mark any point or find out the value of t, etc. Just like we discussed in the previous question, right? Because order helps you to find out any unknown quantity in young double slit experiment. So this is the second part of question B. Now C part, calculate the distance OQ. So if we talk about OQ, So in your diagram, OQ means this distance and it is equals to x, because in your whole question x is not given, d, lambda, a, these quantities are given. So it means we need to find out x. So you can see you are getting 3 marks for this simple question. So lambda is 660 nanometer. This time we need to convert. Nano means -9. D. Capital D is 1.8 and it is 0.44 millimeter. So we also need to convert it. So this is the value of milli, -3. So now we need to just multiply, divide all the quantities given in the question and we will get the answer for x. So round off, you will get the same answer 2.7. Okay. Round off, this is the final answer because now we just need to use calculator. There is nothing specific we need to do for calculation. Now you can see we have two questions for 5 marks related to the factors. So 5 marks question from factors only. So this is important because the initial parts are very, very simple. The intensity of the light incident on the double slit is increased. So this is factor number intensity number 4, right? So when intensity decrease, only brightness decrease. So now intensity is increased. So intensity increased means without changing frequency. Frequency is not changing, only intensity is changing. So if this value increases, so brightness also changes. Okay, describe how the appearance of the fringes after this change is different from and similar to the appearance before the change. So maybe they will remain similar or maybe they will change. So it's now your choice. You need to answer with respect to the factors. So definitely, according to the factor, as we already discussed, if intensity decrease, brightness decrease. So intensity increase, brightness increase. Brightness increases. Okay, I'm writing the main points, right? So you can phrase according to your choice because only main concepts are important. You can phrase or write paragraph according to your choice, no issue. And the second thing, there is no change in dark fringes. And also no change to the value of x. X means fringe separation. So we write all 3 points and question is also for 3 marks. Sometimes they only ask about two quantities. So this question will be like for 2 marks. Just like in the next part, only 2 marks. The light of wavelength 660 nanometer is now replaced by blue light from a laser. So now remember, initially we are using red light, now we are using blue light. Blue light means frequency increases, wavelength decreases. Okay. So that is the hint of the question. Simple. Shorter wavelength, greater frequency. Now the same question state and explain the change, if any, that must be made to the separation of two slits so that the fringe separation on the screen is same as it was for the light. So now question is slightly different. Question says explain the change, if any, that must be made. So now you need to made a change to get the same result just like the previous we are getting with red light. So now you need to change something in this experiment. Okay. So first of all, let's see the factor. So basically, if frequency decreases or wavelength decreases, so when we increase, so X also increase, right? But right now, wavelength decrease. So when wavelength decrease, the value of X also decreases, right? So this is the concept. So according to the formula, if we again write down the formula, so from this formula, you can see X is inversely to A. So the value of X decreases. Now we need to make it to the original value, right? We need to make this value to the original previous value. So first of all, you got 1 mark for writing that the blue light wavelength decreases for blue light. Secondly, what change we need to make? So for 1 mark, we need to write the change. According to the formula, value of X decreases and you need to make it increase because to reach the original value. So to reach the original value, we need to increase the value. Okay. So to increase this value, we need to decrease the value of A. Okay. A means slit separation. So if we decrease slit separation, the value of fringe separation increases back to the same value. Red laser light. Okay. Any confusion in this question? No. Okay. So, as you observe that questions are very straightforward, very simple, right? There is no like complex thing. We just need to think critically about the factors only. Otherwise, rest of the question is very, very easy. So, let's include one more topic in this. So we are able to cover more quickly. Let's save this file. Okay. The next experiment is about diffraction grating. By name, we can identify it is also related to diffraction process. So diffraction grating means uh, we have a piece of plastic or glass. So if we are using a piece of plastic or a glass and we are like marking so many parallel lines on plastic or the glass, okay, so when light passes through that specific piece of glass or um, plastic, so it starts to diffract easily, right? So this is the simple experiment of diffraction grating. So for example, first of all, if we discuss why we are performing diffraction grating experiment, we already got results from young double slit experiment. So there are some problems in that. What are the problems? For example, if they ask for 1 or 2 mark that why we are using diffraction grating or why diffraction grating experiment is more accurate or efficient as compared to the young double slit experiment. So there are some problems with young double slit experiment. The first one is we got spots of very low intensity. So it will be difficult to mark. Very low intensity of spots. Second, very small gap between spots. So these are the problems that we are not able to identify very accurately because values are very, very short and small between the slits. So the problem with young double slit experiments are very basic that we got very minor gaps and very low intensity spots. So that's why young double slit experiment, with the help of young double slit experiment, we are not able to mark values very accurately. So that's why we are using diffraction grating process. Okay. So in diffraction process, first of all, we have grating element. Okay, so grating element means grating element is the name of that piece of plastic or glass that we are using to diffract the light. So grating element means a grating comprises of hundreds of slits per centimeter. So in 1 centimeter, there are like 100 lines. Okay, so this can be made with the help of definitely machine. We are not able to mark manually, and it helps to diffract more light rays so that can pass and bright spots are produced. So this is the idea of grating element. Again, we got maxima, we got minima, the same thing, constructive interference, destructive interference. So we have same concept related to maxima and minima, just like Young double slit experiment, but the procedure of experiment is slightly different. In this procedure, we are going to use a rotation of with different angles. Like we can rotate from 0 to 90 degree on one side and 90 degree on the other side. So it will be total 180 degrees from left to right. So for example, this is the center and this is the reference line. So with the help of this reference line, let's suppose this is n equals to 0. So this is n equals to 0 and this is called maxi. So n equals to 0 means it is equals to maxima and this is the zeroth order, right? And from this center, we can move towards right hand side like in bottom direction or in upward direction, right? So both are possible. So we can make angle or we can make rotation in any direction according to your simplicity. So basically, we got this type of curve results from this grating element experiment. So for example, if we are getting one bright fringe over here, so this is order number one. And for example, second over here, third over here. So in this way, we will get different orders. N equals to 1, 2, 3. In the same way, we can mark on the other side, and that is also same. So just to cross check, we can like practically observe from the both sides. So it will reduce the chances of error in practical experiment. N equals to 3. So these all are maxima. Okay. And in between of maxima, we got minima. So these are minima. And these are also minima. So we have minima over here. Again, we are using monochromatic light. N means order. Just like Young double slit experiment, this one. Okay, I will write down over here. N represents the order. For example, if we use this n equals to 3, so 3 means third order. Maxima. Okay. So in the same way, n equals to 1, 1 means first order maxima, second order maxima, third order maxima, right? Like this. Okay. And same we can write for minima. So n represents order. And if you want to measure the angle, so always measure from the center. Let's suppose if we want to measure the angle for n1, so we need to measure from the center like this, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. So we can measure angle from the center always. Just like in Young double slit experiment, we always measure from the center and on the other side also. And the maximum possibility for the angles is equals to 180 degree. You can rotate this device through 180 degree. Okay. So we will get complete 180 degree rotation from right to left. And the formula for this diffraction grating is very simple. Formula is equals to n lambda is equals to d sine theta. N represents same order, first, second, third, fourth, fifth order. And lambda represents the wavelength. And D represents slit separation. So N represents order of maxima. Lambda represents a wavelength and D represents slit separation, angle between zeroth and nth order. It is the angle between zeroth and nth order. Okay, so if we consider the question from this diffraction grating, in this question we have a concept of power given, intensity given, the wavelength and okay. So let's try this question. The parallel light rays from the sun are incident normally on a magnifying glass. The magnifying glass directs the lights to an area of radius small r as shown in figure 5.1. The magnifying glass is circular in cross section with radius of 5.5 centimeter. The intensity of the light from the sun incident on the magnifying glass is 1.3 kilowatt per meter square. So intensity in the question is given. Assume that all of the light incident on the magnifying glass is transmitted through it. Calculate the power of the light from the sun incident on the magnifying glass. So for the power, we can use the formula of intensity. So intensity is equals to power upon area. Power is equals to intensity into area. So power can be calculated by, it is 1.3 kilowatt. So kilo means 10 to the power 3 divided by area. Okay, area is not given directly, radius is given. So we need to use the formula of pi r square. Area is equals to pi r square and it is equals to centimeter. So first of all, we need to convert into meters and then square on it.
It is the area of the circle.
Area of this cross-sectional area given in the, like, the hollow tube or like a sphere, we can say. If we are using a pipe, so this cross-sectional area of that pipe, like the area of the mouth of the pipe, so that is the area, right? This one.
Yeah.
Value of R is 5.5. We need to convert into meter. 0.055. So the value of power is 12 watts. Okay. In the second part, the value of small r is 1.5 millimeter. Calculate the intensity of the light on area capital A. So now the value of R changes. Again, we need to use the formula of intensity because area is only different. Otherwise, power is the same. We are using intensity is equals to power upon area. So power will be calculated is equals to 12 pi. Now 1.5 millimeter, like this. So from this formula, we can also calculate the value of intensity. Minus 6. Sorry, plus 6. Part B, a laser emits a beam of electromagnetic wave of frequency this much hertz in vacuum. Show that the wavelength of the wave is equals to this value. So frequency is given and we need to show wavelength is equals to this specific value. So they are using electromagnetic waves, so we can use the speed of light. And very simple formula, V equals to F lambda. Because we already studied in IGCSE that all electromagnetic waves travel with the speed of light. So we are getting answer equals to, basically we will get the same answer. We just need to prove. So from calculator you can check. You will get the same value from calculation. Now, we also need to learn the values for the region of electromagnetic spectrum. So just skip this part for time being. We will write down the values for all the spectrum and then we will discuss what are the exact values. So just ignore this part. Okay, the beam from the laser now passes through a diffraction grating with 2400 lines per millimeter. A detector sensitive to the waves emitted by the laser is moved through an arc of 180 degrees in order to detect the maxima produced by the waves passing through the grating as shown in figure 5.2. Calculate the number of maxima detected as the detector moves through 180 degree along the line shown in figure 5.2. So now detector moves through 180 degree and we need to find number of maxima detected. Like 3, 4, 5, 6, how many number of maxima are going to be detected in this specific diagram given over here. So this is the question right now. Okay, they are not asking about any specific value at any specific maxima or at any specific minima. They are only asking about the number of maxima, like how many orders we will get from this whole experiment. So let's see how we can solve this question related to whole 180 degree rotation. So basically, reference is same. We are starting from the midpoint, and from the midpoint, we can move towards the downward direction or to the upward direction. So both are possible. So for example, if we are making 90 degree in downward direction, so we can also make 90 degree in upward direction. Like this. So it will be equals to 180. And we know that in the center, we got a zeroth order, right? So in center, always there will be zeroth order. And in question, we need to find out the value that how many maxima we will get at 90 degree angle. So if we got the maxima at 90 degree angle, so definitely the same maxima will get on the other side. So if we got, for example, 5 maxima on one side, so definitely 5 maxima on the other side. So for example, 90 degree is the maximum angle possible on one side. So we are going to choose the maximum value. So the highest possible value of n is equals to 90 degree. According to the formula, d sine theta is equals to n lambda. And one more thing, the value of d. The value of d represents slit separation. So in your question, it is written that there are 2400 lines per millimeter. So this is the value of d. So this d can be written as 1 over the number of lines given because it is written per millimeter, right? So number of lines are in denominator. Sine 90 small n is equals to unknown because we are finding the order. Wavelength is given 8.1 10 to the power minus 8. Okay, and the value of n is 2400 millimeter. So it means that because normally we divide value by 1000 to convert into meters. So the number of lines are already in the denominator. So these 1000 will be multiplied by 2400. So this is the method to convert your lines into meters from centimeter or from millimeters. We just need to write the number in denominator and write down the prefix that is given in the question. Sine 90 is equals to 1. So we need to divide this quantity on the other side and find out the value you are getting from the value of n. So calculate that what is the value of n you are getting from the calculation.
I got 5.1.
Okay, 5.1. So it means round off, there are four orders, right? Because point 1 is not any order according to the bright and dark fringes, right? Either 1 or point 0.5, etc. like this. So we can round it off to the 5. So it means there are maximum 5 orders on one side. We need to round it off. So we got like one starting from the middle.
So it's number, right?
Yes, like on each side we are getting 5 maximum orders till 90 degree, like this. So you can see 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, 1 in the middle. So there are total 11 maximum orders, right? 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, 1 in the center, so equals to 11 orders.